January 6th? You mean Channel 5? That's one number down, idiot. Hollywood anti-vax rally. I feel like I'm going to end up watching a lot of these. Hold on. I kind of want to see Pickup Artist Boot Camp. Dude. Come on. Pickup Artist Boot Camp? The Hollywood one is fucking Wild Q Conference. Shit, do a poll in chat. Come on, guys. I'm sure they're all good. So that's a lot of people saying Q. A lot of Qers in chat. Y'all British? You like Qing? You know what? We're just okay. Let's see. Oh my God. Well, by making Q Conference the middle option, they're gonna put that one down in the most because then it looks like a penis. All right, well, democracy wins. Let's go.
I've kind of been searching for the truth my whole life. And once...
Oh, by the way, the Jubilee thing that I'm going to be doing in about a week is QAnon believers versus QAnon non-believers. That's what I'm going down for. They brought me down because a QAnon survivor recommended me when she was asked if she knew any good advocates for the anti-QAnon position. So I'm going on down there and so I guess this is like training. You know, this is we're actualizing ourselves.
One time I just came across a video.
I'm sorry, for a second I thought I had Phasmophobia open. What is with her skin? I'm not trying to be mean, it's just
That was about Biden and Kamala Harris and Clinton and Obama.
She's
They are
old.
Satan
I have seen
worshipers,
old
Satanists.
people.
They're
Okay.
Satan worshippers, 100%. And I couldn't wait to tell my family. And they just go, they just said, "You're crazy. Trump's the worst."
How does that make you feel?
Sad. I cry all the time. But I just keep praying. That's all I do. I just keep praying and asking God to open their eyes. I have a beautiful family. They're just blind.
Which family member do you miss the most?
Probably my baby sister. I told her we're in a spiritual warfare. This is between good and evil, and she rolled her eyes.
What was her name?
Meg. We go and have wine together and lunch together, and it's gone.
Isn't it fucking crazy how much of a victim she is? And she's still like one of the most dangerous political blocs in this country. Like it's astonishing how effectively QAnon believers perfectly encapsulate like the dichotomy between being a victim of insanity and being like the ultimate fucking perpetrator of violence against others. No, it is a cult, but most cults don't encompass a significant portion of the United States and have elected representatives. You know, there's Jesus Christ, Scientology comes off as downright benign compared to this. Scientology is like memes compared to this. It's like a wacky little fucking meme.
You wish you had never stumbled upon.
Once you learn, you don't turn back. I know
Well,
what God wants of us and what Jesus wants, and it's what Trump wants, and it's what the Patriots want. I would never turn back, no matter how many of my family I lose.
Cool.
Where we going? We go on!
God, Jehovah, you are the most high God. You are the most high
I have been censored 3 times, disabled, permanently disabled on Facebook. Censored, permanently suspended. They don't like my Q flag. They don't like my Q mobile, and they sure they all don't like me in my Q Patriot costume.
Where we go one, we go all.
Oh, shit! Guys, we're in trouble. Unless the left has an answer to these guns, then we don't have a future in this country. Oh my God, Joe Rogan?
Go all. I don't even say the M word anymore, right?
What?
The M word.
What's that?
It's a dirty word. It's now I have my own words.
Oh! He said M. I thought he said N. Okay. It's still very funny. It's just funny in an unexpected way.
instead of the words that I know the algorithms are going to shut me down.
Can you tell us what words you use for which we're not going to shut you down?
Mask, the face diaper, vaccine, the jokey pokey, and election fraud. The obvious fraud. See, people don't understand everything that we've learned from day one has been a lie. We never were on the moon. No, I don't think the Hitler situation is as bad as they said it was either. That was the Rothschilds, that was the Rockefellers. Those are naughty words in social media. I got banned forever on Facebook.
You're watching Channel 5.
God, I wish I could go to events like these. I would do anything, man. I would... Just having a conversation with some jacked fucking 4'2" dude, and he's like, he's like, yeah, and I call them Fauci ouchies so that the Zuckerberg doesn't censor me, And, yeah, I don't know. People are all up in a tizzy. They don't like my opinion. They don't like the fact that the whole Hitler thing, way overblown, okay? First of all. Second of all, I don't like the newest season of The Bachelor. It got thrown off. Like, what are we... You'd be murdered. I would be murdered, yeah. I would be fucking murdered, dude.
5.
After a hectic few weeks on the road, covering events like the Pickup Artist Boot Camp in Las Vegas,
America is back open, baby. It's makeout time.
And creating my...
What absolute fucking pussy magnets, dude. Holy shit. You guys don't understand this because we're listening to it digitally, like over the YouTube video. But this is actually the resonant frequency of pussy. So if you have a pussy nearby, it vibrates and you come. That's, he was able to hold that note for like multiple consecutive seconds. This dude must be rolling in it. Look at that leg.
And creating my first solo documentary about 2 twins in Marin City, California.
We've been everywhere and on every bitch.
Don't you copyright me. Don't you fucking DMC
I decided to
it.
dive back into the world of right-wing politics. That's when I discovered the God and Country Patriot Roundup, a 3-day event in Dallas which cost $3,000, not including a stay at the Omni Hotel in Dallas, which cost an additional $1,000. What I found
All those guys could afford $3,000. I don't like using terms like white trash, but oh God, they took that shit out of their savings, didn't they? At least some of them did. At least some of them, this was some life-saving shit, Or like credit card debt.
There's a couple hundred patriots with one thing in common.
I have been banned from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. This is Joe Biden's daughter's diary. I used to make videos like reading it out loud.
I've lost 2.
Can I get something from
this? This is Joe Biden's daughter's diary.
No, I need this.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. This is Joe Biden's daughter's diary.
How do you... Hold on. YouTube, rewind, frame by frame. I always forget the fucking hotkey for this. Tap the comma key? All right. Wow, I was literally 1 frame off. That's crazy. Is this 60 FPS? It is 30. I was 1 frame off with my first one. I just went back 1. Okay. Joe Biden, his first wife, Nyla, had 3 children, Hunter, Bo, and Naomi. Joe was married to her. They were working. He said he was betrayed by the Bidens. I think the most insane thing about this is how sane it looks a little bit. Like, this could look way crazier, but it looks like she's actually just really invested in this life. Oh, no, I said that before reading the bit in the middle. Never mind. Nah, never mind. No, sorry. I jumped to conclusions. I'm sorry, guys. I just kind of read this bit and, I made some assumptions. Now I read this bit. I'm not making those assumptions. I can't read her handwriting. I'm not reading it out loud. Grade and shoving the something my underpants. Hyper something at a young age. What is this something to? Was I molested? And it goes on like this.
I used to make videos like reading it out loud.
I've lost 2 YouTube channels, 3 Twitters, and 4 Facebooks. Every time.
Yeah,
it's like,
brother.
Yes. I'm winning.
Why'd you get banned?
Winning.
The so-called Pizzagate conspiracy theory.
Well, first of all, I had like 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. The last couple of videos I did were all...
Wait, how many?
Conspiracy theory.
Well, first of all, I had like 300,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Hey, I've got more than that. Loser. That's a lot, though, for a channel like that.
Last couple of videos I did were all about the Hunter Biden laptop issue. Within 48 hours of putting those out, they just deleted my channel right away. And then within 2 weeks of that, I was deleted off of Twitter as well. Yes.
Nice. What was the name of the channel, since you want to know? Red Pill 78. What a name. Red Pill 78. It looks like he has his own website. Red Pill 78, the corruption detector. And already I'm getting an aesthetic warning sign. You know, watch Red Pill News. Vaccine mandates, election fraud. Ooh, a pop-up donate. Whew, I should try that for my website. Shameless. Frankenstein Fauci. Fully vaxxed Colin Powell dead at 84. Any questions? Yeah, did he have cancer and was he 84? Thank you. It's all just vax shit now. I always want to see with these guys, if I like look a little bit, is there like any like Nazi shit, you know? You look hard enough, there almost always is, right? Honestly, it's a pretty well put together website. Right? Every time you click show more, it updates that like vaporwave VHS track line at the background, which looks really nice. So, respect for that. He had 270K, not 300K. I'll forgive him for his misinfo. Not the most incorrect thing he's ever said. Oh, and this is where it ends right here. So I guess that's when his channel would have been deleted. Then he starts backing stuff up right here. Yeah, it just all looks like standard conspiracy shit these days. He's on Twitch. Based. Ah, he's got the same aesthetic here on Twitch. Does he have any videos? Any VODs? Oh, he does. He's got 16.5K followers. He's actually got, you know, he's got a presence, one might say. Well, he can't say anything too crazy on Twitch, because Twitch TOS is much more strict than YouTube TOS is. So if he got kicked off YouTube, he's probably got to play it careful here. It's, I'm sorry, guys. I want to show you something funny, but it all looks like kind of boring. Like, you bring people on and talk about how COVID is a hoax or whatever, you know? It's not. He's a partner, though.
Statements or opinions of its guests, advertisers, or even its viewers. The information contained in this program is not to be construed as medical or legal advice. An appearance on this platform is not necessarily an endorsement, but as always...
you really got to cover your bases, huh? Jesus.
By George Soros and China that causes renal failure. But he that openeth, that no man shutteth, and shutteth that no man openeth. I had been praying that God would open up a door so that I could wake people up to warn them about the Great Reset and to really digest. Right. Yeah. And all I can say is I'll just leave it there. We have another interview. We're going to talk more about it. Yeah. But I think what's going to happen is the world is going to have I think there's a third of the world that's awake, a third that's impossibly asleep, and a third that's going, it seems like something weird's going on here.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine, okay? This appeared in American Faith and the Western Journal. This is very, very alarming. I grew up in the Assembly of God Church. That's where I grew up in.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I'm sorry to get so emotional.
No, it's okay. I mean, for me, and I'm sure for Clay, sitting...
It's gone down now deliberately, clearly, and now it's all been for nothing, and nobody wants incredibly indebted. So, like, everyone always thought that this was the lucky country, but now it appears that after we've gone overseas and helped everyone in every war, especially in Afghanistan, and all this incredible debacle that's gone down now deliberately, clearly, and now it's all been for nothing, and nobody's coming to help us in our country when we're in trouble and we really need everybody's help. So
yeah,
that's what I think.
Is he sad that the now defunct ANA isn't traveling from Afghanistan to America to help Trump win? I don't know. Sorry, we got a bit of a... At least that wasn't a stun lock because it was relevant to what we're looking at.
I had hop issue. Within 48 hours of putting those out, they just deleted my channel right away. And then within 2 weeks of that, I was deleted off of Twitter as well.
Yes, we were recently kicked off Twitter because of a confrontation I did with the VP of Integrity at Facebook.
If we weren't making a difference, if it wasn't that important, why would they spend so much effort and energy into it?
Because you don't.
I mean, all of Silicon Valley is like run by the Chinese, so.
We're in war. It's...
By the way, I just want to say, if you have like a big conference for all the people who've been banned off your platform and this is what it looks like, that's probably a good sign for your platform, right?
No different than what they were doing to the Jews and different things. They silence them. They're just doing it through social media and electronically now.
It's like a war of the minds. It's psychological, right? It's emotional. It's mental. It's actually worse than having bullets and missiles.
It's you're right.
The real difference between woke supremacists and the Nazi supremacists, the white supremacists, the old South, is the technology available to them. They don't need to put the Jews.
That was deliberate. I'm sorry. I'm not heightist, okay? I'm sorry. Moving on. Sorry, wait, one more time.
Is the technology available to them? They don't need to put the Jews, the other, into ghettos. Because they can now electronically ghettoize us.
Yeah.
In fact, this Jew is electronically ghettoized. They have removed my voice from the community. I am endlessly being imprisoned in Zuckerberg's gulag.
They put 1 foot of his height in a concentration camp.
And again, it serves exactly the same purpose as Stalin's gulags. They want people wake up. It's pretty ridiculous to be outraged by a misgendered toy plastic potato. It's pretty ridiculous to be outraged by the shape of a...
Wait, the left wasn't outraged by that at all. Nobody on the left cared. It was just a marketing move done by a toy company to sell to infants. The right cared. They talked about it on Fox News. I agree. It is dumb. Yeah.
Syrup jar shaped in the design of a beloved black ant.
You might say it was one of the good maple syrup container designs.
About Mr. Potato Head and Aunt Jemima.
Mr. Potato Head and Aunt Jemima. It is ludicrous to be outraged by a drawing in a 70-year-old children's book of a hard-working Asian man that was somewhat cartoonish. Because you know what? You know why it was cartoonish? Because it was a cartoon. Because it was a cartoon.
Oh my god, these people exist in real life, dude. If he had a microphone, if he was holding the microphone at the end of that, he would have dropped it right there. You know why? Because it was a cartoon. He would say that about minstrel shows too, like white dudes doing blackface and fucking chucking around watermelons and shit. Yeah, you know why they look so cartoonishly dumb? Because they're doing a performance, dumbass. Drop it. Except he drops the microphone and there's no noise when it hits the ground because his hand outstretched holds the microphone exactly the microphone's height away from the ground. So it's just he holds it outwards and lets go and it's already on the ground. he drops the microphone and just rolls. It's already making contact. I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with being short at all, okay? I'm sorry.
sucks, but that's why we fight.
And now what we've done is, between President Trump and people like you,
being
and
tall is
podcasts
bad.
like myself, we had a voice. We are the news now. When people want to know the truth, where do they go?
Alternative platforms like Rumble, BitChute, DLive, Twitch, Foxhole, Pilled, CloutHub.
I don't know if Twitch is an alternative platform, my friend. You are indeed on this platform, but I don't know. Twitch is very jumpy with their ban policy. I could tell you this with great confidence, okay?
PureSocial.tv.
I use Telegram a lot. I love Telegram. I have great group chats on there.
I do a lot of stuff in the community, in the streets. I go stand at squares and hold signs for the kids. Operation 1009, Save Our Children, and human trafficking.
We have to return to the oldest technology
Tradition.
of all, which is one-on-one conversation.
Oh yes, please. If the far right could just use the incredibly effective propaganda delivery vehicle of one-on-one conversations and not deviate from that in any way, shape, or form, that would be astounding. Okay, please, we tremble. We tremble in fear. Please.
Because everyone at this event is pretty much deplatformed there. So I guess this is kind of like the way for them to network, hang out, figure out what's next.
He has a 5-star book on Amazon. Woke Supremacy and Anti-Socialist Manifesto. It's got 670 ratings. That's a pretty large number for an independently published book. Yeah, it looks like fairly like bog standard, like the woke people say they want equality, but they really want to breed sissy white males with big black cock, or whatever the fuck it is these people jerk off to.
How you doing?
Big
Hi.
fan, bro.
Hell yeah, dog. What's on your mind?
I just met a group. They're called like Down for the Revote or something, and they're like doing a Justice for Prince thing. They think like a few days before Prince was gonna die, he was gonna out Hillary Clinton on like eating and raping children.
Let's go find them.
Prince? Prince. Like the artist formerly known as?
Hey, how you doing? No one in the whole universe will ever compare.
Okay, I guess so.
And we absolutely have already proven it by mathematical standards. Prince had been exposing things about deep state, Illuminati, cabal. I call it the Worldwide Communist Network. And I think we all know that when you do things like that and you use your celebrityism and your platform to speak these truths that are not allowed, right, by the one-eyed crew, then you get
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
That's not Prince. That's good.
Chester Bennington's the lead singer of Linkin Park. He and Chris Cornell were going to expose Hillary Clinton's pedophilia. Jeffrey Epstein was essential in facilitating quite a lot of this. He is responsible for the murder of multiple people, including Nipsey Hussle.
What?
Chat, can you forgive me if I don't have anything to say about this? I'm experiencing it with you, okay? Shu says, I believe this all. Thank you, Shu. Watching Channel 5 videos with your mouth open, quietly absorbing information you will uncritically believe. What's up? They had a new item. Oh, what is it?
Right.
Cheesy fries? What is this? Some chicken? Fuck, that's good.
You like it?
Did you like it?
Do you want to even have it?
Oh, yeah, I'll
I
have
got
it.
your normal thing. And I got
Yeah.
this for a salted.
How is this sweet and savory? What the fuck?
It's chicken bacon.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good. Okay, cool. I'll finish what I can, but these dipshits, they want a lot from me.
Oh, that's my fork.
Oh, this is your fork. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's like a bite. No, eat it.
Oh, eat it. Okay. But now I have to just wait here. Okay, hold on. We're just...
Just mukbang. Thank you.
There.
Thank you.
Now, what's about the cup?
I just want the fork.
You don't...
Yes. Nipsey Hussle is one of my spirit guides, and I've just worked with his energy and guidance since his death.
Where do you get your news from?
From divine source, from God. We are a prophetic justice ministry.
I do not watch TV. I don't watch truthers. I don't watch the internet. I do not really even read books. I've channeled all of my life. I've always heard his voice, and my accuracy is constantly at 99 to 100%.
We're not part of the Q movement.
Really? I'm getting mixed signals. You know, I want to reach out to my indigenous brethren. I had a conversation with one earlier, and we were talking about the biases we have against spiritualism. And I want to make it totally clear, okay? That I could probably search far and wide across the Great Plains of this country, and many countries next, and I would never, ever, ever find a single indigenous person anywhere near as batshit fucking crazy as a significant number of people in any major American city as a product of religion. I could spend my entire life searching. I don't care what it is they believe. I could find some indigenous dude who thinks that when you smash the rocks together really hard, the sound that makes is the instruction for his next meal. Is that a thing that exists? Probably not. But if I met him, you know what I'd do? I'd walk right up to him. I'd shake his hand and I'd say, thank you. Thank you for not guiding America politically into a flaming dumpster heap. Thank you for not even coming in the same league as these guys when it comes to how destructive you are. Please. Thank you. Seriously. We want to talk about backward superstitions. We have fucking Q in our country? Jesus Christ.
And we align with some of the things that Q has said. We really came out to just
Wait, hold on. These people are mentally unwell and it's not the same thing as spirituality. How do you tell? Because very religious people, like the kind who think that they're being channeled by the angels when they do tongues in a church, demonstrate outward symptoms identical to some types of schizophrenia. I don't know. You can't tell, okay? I'm sorry. You can't tell.
Work with this community. So love and honor and infinite love and gratitude to Prince and Nipsey Hussle.
This proves what Morgan was talking about earlier in our biases. Yeah, literally. No, literally, though. This is like proof perfect of exactly what she was saying, you know? That people have this condescending, like, oh, native religion, backwards, like attitude towards that shit. Even I have biases like that, you know? But then you've got shit like this, and there are people who believe this in Congress. In fucking Congress, okay? In fucking Congress. We can begin to equivocate, okay? When native leaders get elected to Congress and their first act in doing so is to like, I can't even think of something crazy enough. There's nothing in like my understanding of indigenous culture that intersects with how fucking crazy QAnon is. What could they do? What would they have to do in order to in order to affect that? Like what would they do? I genuinely don't even know. I'm sorry, I don't even know. They would be like the joke. They would be like Scarecrow. They try to spike the entire water line of a city with peyote. Yeah, like he did with their fear gas, with his fear gas shit. It'd be like a native dude like posting videos to like Instagram of him like laugh yelling with his head like rolling out of a train that's running while he's dumping like, yeah, absolutely. And honestly, that would still be better. All right, we just stop, move on.
Research, I learned that this was not just any Patriot conference. The event is hosted by John Sabal, aka QAnon John, and his wife Amy. These Patriots are avid believers in QAnon, a conspiracy theory that a deep state insider is spreading messages on the image board 8chan to expose people like Hillary Clinton and Bill Gates, saying they belong to an elite cabal of Satan worshipping. I don't know what. Brancy, you want to come in here?
QAnon is the theory that an individual or a group of individuals are exposing the deep state, including Hillary Clinton and her baby-eating ways through the image board 8chan, which also has a lot of child porn.
Hold on, this wasn't the guy online who made fun of my appearance, was it? Not that I'm saying anything, just it is? Wait, is this that guy? Oh, tell me it's not that guy. It is? Oh. Okay. Okay. That's fine.
I think either Donald Trump is Q or he's behind it. He is like a Christ-like figure who's come to the office of the presidency in order to arrest and execute every single person who they don't like.
But right now is a weird time to be a Q supporter. For years, Q has talked about this.
You're confusing Truanon from Will with Chapo? No, they've both done it, and I have made fun of Will. But I had no idea what any of the Truanon guys looked like. That's the veteran, right? The one who was with the Rojava? They're related? They're not related. Wait, are they related? No. No. Wait, the podcasts are? Yeah, the podcasts are related. When you say they're related, my thought is going to be you mean... Why'd he call you ugly, Vaush? Because you voted for Biden? No, it must have been because I fucked his dad. I don't know. People got hang-ups, man.
Storm, a day of reckoning in which Trump, along with the military, would arrest all the members of the deep state and save the world. But the storm never came.
It's weird to be a QAnon person now.
Oh, I'm sorry, wait, can I share a story? Hold on. I have a, it's really funny how I've managed to grow to the size they am in spite of the fact that there is this entire, like, edgy left media complex that I am not even allowed to engage with, you know? I actually know someone who recently went to some fucking New York get-together with a bunch of these types, like Chapo, Truanon, like all these like lefty podcast types. And according to them, I was talked about a lot. Like, I won't disclose who it was, but I know someone who went to one of these things, and I was being brought up like impromptu or whatever. And apparently, like, sometimes it was positive, but I imagine most of the time it was negative. If they would invite me to these things, you know what would happen? I would get drunk as shit, and then they could really get the embarrassing clips out of me. They need to think long term, okay? They think short term I'm going to go away because they have their little baby parties, and I'm not there? Wrong. I hate baby parties. I like man parties, thank you. Gay man parties. That doesn't disempower me. But if you get me sufficiently drunk, you get some good Moscato there, you point cameras in my faces, and you ask me, rapid fire, my opinion on various minority groups. Eventually, I will make a joke that will not land. And you can take me down like that. You could take that, you could get me like that. Are you gay or bi? I'm pansexual, so bi if you want, you know. Yeah. Eventually, I say all this. They hand me the first glass of Moscato. I haven't even touched it with my lips yet. Oh yeah, by the way, so black people. No, are you sure this isn't just a scheme for you to get free alcohol? And what if it is? And what if it is? Chapo's very mixed on you. Some of them like your debates. The Chapo community is mixed on me. The Chapo hosts are very unmixed on me. They're very they're very consistent, I think, as I understand it. Well, that's not true. Virgil Texas actually liked me, but then he realized that the pedo shit was clipped out of context, and he unfollowed me. I'm sorry, that's not true. That was a joke. Stop. Stop. Oh God. Do you think he's ever going to come back? He needs to come back like Shane Dawson came back, just like doing some random shit and not acknowledging, you know? He needs to come back to Twitter and he's tweeting about like the newest Bachelor season or something. That would be so much more effective than anything else he could possibly do, I think. He's probably been in a bunker for the last year. Yeah. I don't even know why he's so upset. He's a podcaster. We all expect this from them, okay? Not like the Chad YouTubers who have never been associated with inappropriate behavior, but podcasters. He should tweet about his furry conversion. Is he a furry? That's a bad look for furries. Brianna Joygray blocks people on Twitter who ask about him. That's good. That's good. To be fair, though, as funny as it is to hound her, because I don't like her, she can't really do anything, right? Like, it seems like Virgil Texas just disappeared. Like, it doesn't seem like this has anything to do with her. So I imagine that after a year of that, I might be blocking people too. However, it is also funny, so you should keep doing it. Yeah. She could take him off the banner. Wait. Is he still on the banner? Yeah? Wait, no. No, shut. No. Okay, it's just the logo. It's just the logo. Okay, you got to be careful. What about the bad faith pod? There we go. He's been gone for like 9 months. I feel like you could just quietly... What happened to him? Somebody on Twitter came out with this big story about how he essentially groomed her when she was 16 and then like dipped when... I don't remember the details. It was like child grooming. It was child grooming. The thing is, normally when somebody comes out with an allegation like that, I don't change my opinion of the person because I have no fucking clue if it's true. Anyone can go on Twitter and just like type up a story and like get a bunch of... Guys, people have literally done that to me. People have literally like faked screenshots and stories, and people in my community have had to do fucking pixel exposés to figure out... Like, I literally know this happens, okay? So if it's just like, someone comes out with a story, but it wasn't just she came out with a story, he disappeared after. He disappeared after, which makes it look quite a bit worse, you know? It's the big difference, you know? If somebody's like, hey, I think that Fred might have stolen my wallet. My wallet went missing when I went to Fred's house, and I think Fred might have stolen my wallet. And there's a pretty big difference after that's said, which you can't prove either way yet, between Fred saying, no, I didn't, and you going to Fred's house to ask him to find that his house has been looted and he's already on his way to Mexico. There's a very big difference between these two responses to an accusation, and the latter definitely makes you look a lot worse. What was the last thing he tweeted? Still more Twitter followers than me. Disgraceful. Okay, he retweeted something on June 8th. June 8th. Wow. I thought he disappeared a year ago. It's only been like 5 months? 4 or 5 months? Wow, I thought it had been way longer ago. Feels like it's been forever. Huh. He disappeared a year ago when Bernie lost the primaries? Oh, right. God, imagine. This guy's clearly got some emotional issues. But like, yeah, I don't know. Child grooming is bad. My hot lefty take for the day. All right. How are we doing this? Oh, yeah, this guy made fun of my appearance. Thank you.
Now, because for 5 years, QAnon people have believed that Nancy Pelosi, etc., would be arrested and executed in Guantanamo Bay prison in Cuba. And to this date, not a single person has been.
And on December 8th...
Okay, I've got one more, okay? I know how he survived this tour de force over in Rojava against ISIS. And it's because he could stand behind sandbags without exposing anything below his shoulders. You can make it out. Stop.
2020, Q, stop posting.
I think the last post was a scene from Last of the Mohicans, and then a gif of an American flag flying over a forest. That's basically it.
Yeah.
I think January 6th was supposed to be the storm, and then that didn't work. And then January 20th was supposed to be the storm. But at that time, everyone was really tired. But they keep saying, I've been in there all morning, that the storm is still coming.
Q is truth forever, whether there's posts or not, as long as Anons never cease to find.
Why do those other lefties hate you? Because I wasn't Bernie or bust. That's actually, I'm not joking when I say that's the only reason. Chapo and Trey, it's literally the Bernie or bust thing. That's the reason why. If I hadn't gone for that, if I had been Bernie or bust like the rest of them, then they would all be fine with me and I could be chilling. None of the other shit matters to the left. I could be like chilling on Hassan's stream, giving my take on fucking horse dicks, and then I'd be invited to those soirees and I could tell all of them to their face that they're short instead of telling them over the internet to videos. But it was because I believe that I have a very hot take that Biden is better than Trump. Something which is very difficult to prove to an illiterate, deaf, blind, mute, dumb, mentally disabled chimpanzee, but is very easy to prove to literally anyone else. And for this, I am eternally, I am crucified. You see, I have the stigmatas, you know.
And spread the truth.
I'm being so dramatic today. What the fuck is up with me? It's because I'm hungry.
That this was an inside job, and I hope that all those that are guilty of what they did and all the crimes that came after it are punished to the fullest extent of the law.
It was an infiltration. I was there. I know what it was. Antifa. Black Lives Matter, George Soros funded, same thing. You know, it's all an infiltration. We've learned it. We've seen the court documents since it's happened. These are people with connections.
I don't think that the storm didn't necessarily happen. I think that the whole point of it was for a vast majority of people to wake up. There are still things happening. You know, I mean, we've got the audits in Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin.
I trust.
Well, we know when this was filmed then, because we know how those Arizona audits went, didn't we? Oh, I wonder how they reconciled that one. Give me that. Trump dealt blow as Republican-led Arizona audit reaffirms Biden win. Didn't they actually find more votes for Biden? Biden actually gained votes from this. Talk about insult to injury, dude. They're waiting for the storm, and like every time they wait on something, it's like, oh yeah, actually Biden's even better than you think. Biden did even better than you could even. They need to keep doing audits because every time they do, more Biden votes are going to come in, and eventually Trump will have had 0 votes. Authentically, not through any trickery, just they will find out that 0 humans voted for Donald Trump, and everything else was like a counting error. So please keep doing it.
100% that there's a plan. I think it's Dan Scavino, Mike Pompeo. I think, you know, we're obviously not allowed to hear about certain things because it's a military operation. And, you know, I have complete faith. It doesn't ruin my hopes that, you know, a lot of people aren't talking about it. They don't want to get kicked off Facebook.
Part of the reason I believe we're in this problem is because we've gotten conditioned for instant gratification. Q was the template. It doesn't matter what Q does. It doesn't matter what Trump does until we're willing to participate in something different and be a part of that. See, we are the plan. We are the storm. I think they did their job. You know, they started the Great Awakening.
Were you disappointed when Q stopped posting back in December?
No, because they did their job. Am I disappointed in Trump? No, Trump did his job. Now we have to, as people, take back our country.
Yeah, the real storm was the friends we made along the way. You know, was I mad when Q stopped posting? No. Or was I mad when Trump lost and then reaffirmed the loss and then lost over and over and then the Jan 6th thing failed and then everything went bad and also everything sucks for us? No, I'm not mad. It's all part of God's plan. This is, by the way, just the political version of this is God's plan. Just so you know. Because that's also what coping Christians do whenever the shit they predicted doesn't work out. And they're like, well, I can reevaluate my priors or I can... No, this is the same. I mean, we're listening to Amazing Grace being played over this. These are all obviously Christians. Though I imagine there are Christians watching this right now who bristle at being associated with these people. I am sorry about that. I am very, very sorry, okay? You white Christians are like the white people of white people, okay? You've got like you've got a lot of work to do in your communities to work on this, okay?
And not wait for a hero.
One of the tactics of this new psychological war seemed to be avoiding Q. The main speakers of the event, General Flynn and Sidney Powell, claimed to not know anything about what we're talking about.
Of course.
Gentlemen, ready right here.
Okay,
oh,
thank you.
shit.
Andrew Callahan, Channel 5 Action News. So,
Channel 5 from where, though? Describe
Channel 5 Action News is not actually a TV channel. It's the name of our YouTube channel.
I got it. I think I knew that about you.
It's not syndicated through a national broadcasting corporation, but, you know. So talking about manipulation, if you go on any mainstream media platform, they describe this whole event as a QAnon conspiracy conference.
Yeah.
Why do you think that they're doing that, and is that true?
If they create this boogeyman, right? If they create this boogeyman, that's a nice little thing to just keep beating us about. They try to take an organization like this and create that level of noise that I talked about. QAnon, they're the domestic, they're the new, they're the new shiny.
For those of you who can't keep up, by the way, this is the guy who said that the military coup that took place in Myanmar should happen in the United States. This is the, because I know that these guys are like pathetic, crazy, deluded victims, these QAnon types, but you do, yeah, he went to jail too, yes. You do have to remember that the end goal of their political platform is the mass slaughter of American citizens. When you take a look at their forums, not what they say to the cameras, but what they say to each other, the storm is not just people suddenly all vote red. The storm they describe is a combined citizen and military purge of the United States to rid it of those who they describe to be in league with Satan. And guys, you'll never guess how many people they describe to be in league with Satan. If you're trans, homosexual, bisexual, if you're a feminist, if you're a Democrat, if you are even an independent who does not align with them, it's the day of the rope. It's the end day for all of you. So I know that they're harmless dumbass. I know well, they're not, but I know they come off a little like harmless dumbasses. But do keep in mind that you can dress it up however you like. The end goal of their platform is essentially genocide. And if you want to take a look at raw numbers, the genocide they're looking for would actually be, as I understand it, the largest in all of human history. Because if you take every type of person they think is in league with Satan here in the U.S., you get what would it be? A 9-digit number in the hundreds of millions. That's a lot of people. Yeah, Charlie Kirk. This just happened to Charlie Kirk. I'm going to bring this up when I talk to him, if I can remember. He went to a TPUSA conference, and, well...
Fascism. This is tyranny. When do we get to use the guns? No, and I'm not... That's
Mixed audience response, by the way. That was not boos.
It's not a joke. I'm not saying it like that. I mean, literally, where's the line? How many elections are they going to steal before we kill these people?
So, no, no, hold on. No, stop. Hold on.
No booing. You hear that? Light cheering, no booing. And this is at TPUSA. This is not a QAnon conference. This is TPUSA. They're considered moderate compared to the QAnoners. That's what we're dealing with. This audience that didn't boo a call for purging their political enemies is more moderate than this group of people.
Now, I'm going to denounce that. I'm going to tell you why. Because you're playing into all their plans, and they're trying to make you do this.
They're trying to make you do this. You're playing into their plans. Not that it's wrong. Not that it's horrible. It's that it's bad optics and they want you to do this. Because Charlie Kirk doesn't think that's wrong. Charlie Kirk's on board with a lot of this stuff. Yeah, he was talking about busing people into the Capitol riot. He gets real mad when you bring it up. He's on board with a lot of this stuff. Charlie Kirk is just the suit and tie clanner type that we've seen in this country for 100 years.
about Jack. I don't know what QAnon is. I really don't.
Oh, wait, sorry. One last thing. Yeah, Jack Posobiec. This is a Nazi, by the way. Audience members showed up at Charlie Kirk event and calls for violence. Everyone, it's a Fed. The audience did not boo him. The audience just didn't boo him. Gotta know your enemies.
I really don't. But I'm going to leave here saying, well, do you believe in God?
General Flynn was being real sneaky. As he delivered his speech, vendors in the back sold QAnon hats and t-shirts, and his colleague Sidney Powell was even wearing a big fat Q on the back of her motorbike jacket.
Nice.
He claimed to not know what QAnon was, but months before, he took the oath with his entire extended family.
Where we go one, we go all.
Yeah.
Where we go one, we go all. God bless America.
Normal. Extremely normal, by the way. This is very normal behavior for humans to engage in.
Listen, on the 4th of July last year, where we go one, we go all, he was the military man who knew about the Hillary Clinton scandals and what they've been doing for years. Like, his truth is what brought the movement alive. And, you know, whether or not he's in it, he's the people's general.
Should there be an info campaign with Tucker Carlson types of justified fear-mongering? Fear-mongering implies dishonesty. Nothing we could say about this group of people would achieve fear-mongering because everything that we would say about them is completely true. This is why people on the left talk about violence against the right being defensive in nature. These people trick themselves into thinking that the election got stolen from them when it didn't, despite their best efforts to steal it, and now they want to kill us because we disagree with them lying about the election being stolen. It is defensive. Now, with regards to fear-mongering, yeah, I think that Biden and CNN and MSNBC and all these other groups, everything that even considers itself a little bit of a part of the left, should approach these groups with the same tactical and precise coverage that Tucker Carlson uses to demonize his political opponents. I think we need to drop this faux pas of we can reach out to them civility. We need to be clear about the fact that the end goal of their political program is genocide, and we need to treat them as such. And we need to do so with extreme prejudice, because I genuinely think that is the only way to get non-Republicans in this country on board with the fact that we may soon have to fight a war for our existence. And by our, I mean everyone who isn't a far-right Republican. And it will be because they will accuse us of doing the thing that they will at that time be doing to us.
He woke us up. Whatever it was, he had a role in the Great Awakening. Shout out to General Flynn. Where we go on, we go all.
We just talked to General Flynn, and he said he doesn't know what QAnon is.
Well, media, look what they do when they take little pieces of it, and we've been ostracized, we've been talked about, through our families, we've lost loved ones, wives have walked away, parents, everybody is ostracized in a certain way in their own communities, and why give them the opportunity?
Not surprisingly, other speakers followed General Flynn's lead.
What are your thoughts on the whole QAnon thing?
I mean, he's essentially just saying we all know he's lying. He's doing it for optical purposes, which is, to be expected. It should be like a Fox News type of thing where we would say that. You do realize I would be killed because I disagree with the far right to centrist independence? Yes, we absolutely should. Sorry, guys, but organizing people around fear is actually justifiable if the fear is justified. It's unjustifiable if the fear isn't justified. That's how it's always been. It is okay to unify people based on fear of something bad if that's a thing that can actually happen. We believe that with climate change, don't we? You think we don't try to spread fear on that? Of course we do. It's justified fear. Those are real problems that are going to really happen. So we should take that attitude towards all the things that threaten us that severely. All we can really do.
I don't know about it. I really don't. And, I only talk about things I know. Like, are you familiar with arena football?
Arena football?
No.
Like the sport?
Yeah, the sport. So, my roommate was one of the old owners of one of the teams.
So this event in general has been called a QAnon conspiracy theory rally. Even says, where we go one, we go all on the lanyard.
Really?
What are your thoughts on that whole thing?
I don't know. I'm just here to talk. Booker T. Washington is the father of black conservatism. His three-point plan of education, entrepreneurship, and self-reliance, we need to bring that back.
I see the crystal raindrops fall and the beauty of it all when the sun comes shining through.
Hey,
I think
sounds
Trump
nice.
is the best thing that ever happened to black people in particular. I represent the hood from St. Louis. We kill each other every day in the black community. When a young girl is sitting up on her bed doing her homework and a bullet comes through the window, there's no Black Lives Matter. But as soon...
Is he under the impression that Black Lives Matter advocates would not feel bad about their death? What?
As a white police officer, grabs a black person the wrong way, put the finger in the face the wrong way. Black Lives Matter. It has nothing to do with the matters of black lives.
What are the undercurrents that are hiding behind the Black Lives Matter movement?
First of all, it was started by two black lesbians who hate the black family.
The war against BLM and Antifa rages on.
Okay, Antifa, I'm speaking to you. So what I saw yesterday is uncalled for. When you're sitting there making up lies about speakers that are involved with QAnon, when you're sitting there spewing ugliness, make sure you know and educate yourself. And don't be spewing out venom.
Midway through our interview, fake news arrived.
Let's go in. Let's go find out. Yeah, let's go find out. You're hosting.
What? What am I doing? What's happening?
Some guy got kicked out.
Oh, he got kicked out. Who?
He's a reporter.
Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, is that fake news? Fake news. Will, how you doing, brother? You trying to get in, huh? Not good. Try to get in, huh? Not good, Will.
Yeah, get out of here.
Schmuck. Yeah, I mean, I guess, they're not fans of mine. I think QAnon John, who runs it, is not.
Ah! Hello, Will. You're right, they're not fans of you. That is correct. Not big fans of the Daily Beast, I reckon.
Not like a huge fan of my reporting, and I think QAnon people just aren't huge fans of reporters in general. What QAnon tells you is that the most powerful people in the world just committing the most heinous crimes. They're abusing children with impunity, right? And only you and Donald Trump can stop it. And so if you believe that, then yeah, of course you're going to be on board with QAnon. And I think part of it is frankly that it seems pretty fun. And look, they call themselves digital soldiers, right? It's you're in a war.
Do you feel bad for these people?
Yeah, for the most part. I don't feel super bad for the people who are promoting it and who I think are often cynically making money and ruining people. But yeah, I typically feel very bad for the average QAnon believer because, it's something that it preys on your emotions, right? It's almost everyone I know, they have a story about someone they know who has lost their mind to QAnon.
Remember, the reason why QAnon is structured the way it is because the end plan that they have, which is the political purge here in America, the hundreds of millions dead, is something that they can only internally justify and advocate for if they're able to paint their opponents as the most evil people imaginable. That's why QAnoners talk about politics like psychopaths. They don't talk about this policy is good or this one is bad. They talk about all the people in power are Satanists and all Democrats enable them and blah-de-blah-de-blah. It's a way of morally essentializing the conflict in a way that allows you to demonize your opponents in an almost supernatural way. That's why they talk about the pedophilia and the blood drinking. Do they actually give a fuck about child sex trafficking? No, of course they don't, because there are real things you could do about that. They never gave a fuck. Real child sex trafficking charities and anti-advocacy orgs actually said QAnon hurt their movements because it clogged all the search engine data for fighting against child sex trafficking with politically partisan lunatic conspiracy theory. They don't care about any of this stuff at all. None whatsoever. The goal is to ascribe the greatest possible moral crime to everyone they disagree with because it's the only way they can justify what they have to do, which is, of course, to kill us. Not just 1 or 2 or 1,000 or 1,000,000, but a lot of us. We need to be that bad for them to be able to advocate for and convince others of that thing. That's as far as it goes. And that's the reason why it's so difficult to move them over. It's not a real political program. It's not an actual argument. There's not a real position that you can argue against or for, because they don't actually care. You know, they don't care. I think it's important to remember, and I'll compare these guys to Nazis because I think they're basically just Nazis, and I do not give a fuck. That in a lot of ways, I feel like we misrepresent the attitude that Nazi Germany had towards the Jews when we bring people on this channel to debate them. When we debate Nazis on this channel, which we don't do much anymore because they're all deplatformed or terrified, or I don't care, whichever. We're usually talking either to like very young, politically malleable people, or we're talking to grifters who make their money pushing these things, okay? And that doesn't give us a full understanding of the emotional context behind their belief. You have to understand, the German citizenry, back during World War II, the ones who lived under the Nazi Party, had been fed for years and years and years a deliberate program of state propaganda designed not only to dehumanize Jews, but to make them and anyone aligned with them, however tangentially, a moral crime against the universe. It wasn't sufficient for the Germans to say, society would be better if our ethnicities were separated, because that's something empirical that you could do math on. It had to be much more morally essentialized. It had to be a great good against a great evil, and that's what their propaganda reflected. And that is why victims of that type of propaganda aren't susceptible to arguments. It was never about empiricism. It was always about the feeling of being part of an arm-locked wall against ultimate evil. And that's the easiest way to get people to commit atrocities, really. It's you convince them that anything is justified if it is if it thwarts this great enemy. Just to remember that. And this is one of the reasons why I'm generally okay with feeling bad for QAnoners, but also thinking their lives should be miserable. Because you can't argue these people out of these positions. Not reliably. That may be every once in a while, but not very infrequent. What they should be, however, is miserable. They should be incentivized to not be QAnoners by making being a QAnoner as much of a social repellent as having constantly pooped pants. It should be something so much of a social faux pas and so universally unacceptable that anyone who advocates for these positions is a nonstop source of mockery. Doesn't that just push them farther into the QAnon in-group? Sometimes. But sometimes what it does is it forces people out of them. You have to remember that the way people can be pulled in and out of these groups varies a lot depending on whether or not there are enclaves for them to retreat to. What happened if you were a flat earther back in 1982, folks? What if you were 17 years old and you felt like the earth was flat? You gonna find a cult? Probably not. Maybe your town just happens to have a flat earther cult. That would be remarkable. For the most part, you'll just get laughed at. Nowadays, with the internet, you can find a cult behind just pretty much any political view. With QAnoners, the reason why they are what they are and do what they do is because there are in-groups that they can run to. But we can make it harder for them to exist. Deplatforming is an effective way of breaking up social groups. The alt-right has gone quiet, hasn't it? It's not a coincidence. It's because a ton of them got banned. The idea that, like, this is something I think a lot of people learned from 4chan, containment board. Why is poll the way it is? The poll board on 4chan. Well, you ask people, why do you keep this Nazi haven on the site? And people say it's a containment board. That's not how it works. That's not how anything works. If you don't like model train hobbyists, if you think they're just really fucking annoying, you don't want model train hobbyists in your town, do you build a model train store? Oh, well, you're containing them. Now they'll be there instead of spread out around the town. This way, you know, they're out of the other areas. No! You get more people into model trains, you fucking idiot. Not only do you give them a space to hang out in, you also give new people a place they can go to if they want to be exposed to the degeneracy of model trains. And that's what poll does. It doesn't contain anyone. Every time a containment is breached, what happens? A fart and then nothing. Do you remember fat people hate on Reddit? You should look it up, because it's pretty interesting. It was one of the most active subreddits, and all it was about was whining about fat people. That's it. And eventually it got banned. And what happened? Well, the site lost its mind for about 24 hours. And after that, it's gone. You don't see fat people hate posters active in all the other subreddits all over the place. You don't see a sudden diffusion of that same level of energy just distributed evenly across the entire website. They just stopped. And nobody cares anymore. At least far fewer people care. Far, far, far fewer people. So if you want to deal with QAnon, that's what you have to do. Make it intolerable to be part of QAnon and advocate for their online spaces to be broken up. Is that censorship? No. Their political program entails genocide. It is pro-free speech to break them up online. It is an ethically defensible, pro-freedom, anti-hierarchy take to say we should make an effort to break apart genocidal groups. That is a good thing to do, as long as you are not pro-genocide, which they are, and so they scream, and so they chafe. Dude, at least own up to it and say it's censorship for good. It's literally not censorship for private companies to have TOS. That's just not the definition of censorship. If you're going to argue that it's authoritarianism for good, then I'd argue that it's not that either, because this is a decision made to enable freedom. That would be like saying it's authoritarian to have laws against making death threats. I think that you're actually increasing the general level of freedom by disallowing this particular type of free speech. And again, we're not even talking about criminal penalties. We're talking about website TOS. Hardly a tremendous imposition on their freedom. Yeah, Vaush, that is the definition of censorship. Okay, well, if you want to live in a world where censorship means everything from the state arresting people for criticizing it, and also people getting banned off Twitter for spamming scat inflation furry pornography in the comments below celebrities, then feel free to. But I think there's a difference between the government enforcing legal punishments against people and websites having terms of service agreements that they think make the website a better place. Let's finish this.
We're actually doing food. We're actually feeding people.
What do you think he was trying to say?
That's classified.
She has a big butt.
Okay.
Who?
His mom.
God damn, dude.
It's not that good. I mean, it's like shaped nicely, but it's not like, she's not that hot. It's like that. It's like curves in.
I am a menace. Eat his booty out.
What? No.
This is real America, by the way. This is real America right here. All those QAnon grifters, fuck them. This is real America right here, okay?
I love Trump, but I hated when he banned flavored vape juice.
Extremely true.
I want to know why what happened in Myanmar
Myanmar
happened here. No reason. I mean, it should happen here. No reason.
Military coup, by the way. Freedom, by the way. Good stuff. Man, these videos are too good. I feel like we need to space them out, okay? We gotta space them out for a little bit. Probably just a little service update. We gotta space them out a little bit, so we you know, we've got the good times come along for a while. Do more, Vaush? No.